Remember a few weeks ago when I showed you guys my DWC indoor hydroponics tomato system that I was growing a bunch of tomatoes in? Well, here it is. But since that video, I have made a lot of adjustments. I've learned a bunch of new things, and I gotta redo the whole thing. So I'm gonna be concentrating on setting it all up, making the adjustments, and also concentrating on the water. What is electrical conductivity? What in the world is parts per million? And how in the world do I really get this concentrated right so I can grow a boatload of tomatoes in hydroponics for the summertime? Let's go. What's going on, my plant peoples? I am the ADHD gardener, where I use gardening, houseplants, and humor as a form of mental health therapy, and I really do need a lot of therapy. I'm going to be talking kind of quick today. I am full of energy, and if you know what ADHD is all about, hyperactivity, I got boatloads of it. I got to set up this system because I really still have to study like 3 chapters. I am not done with that yet, but I have my DWC system. Now, if you've seen my previous video on how I set that up, it was all good. Like, the system was working fantastic. I was getting a boatload of tomatoes, but my mistake was the plastic bag. Now, the plastic bag was still a good idea because I have houseplants in the plastic bags and all that, but I neglected, was not paying attention, was not observing my plant enough, and I was using the wrong materials. My ramen is really getting to me right now because he keeps knocking over my camera. But where was I going with this? Oh my gosh, I got a bunch of cat hair. Okay, the problem was with the plastic bag was it actually worked out really good. I have a bunch of houseplants still in the plastic bags and I have no problem with them. The problem with the tomatoes one is a few things.
Humidity was too much.
Right, like I should have known that you could only, put that plastic bag on for so much time before there was gonna be a problem. Which I totally forgot about because I have other things that I was worried about. And until you started doing plant maintenance for me, yeah, that looks terrible. I really just did not fully think through what I should have done with all the other plastics, because those worked out perfectly fine. I had no problems, no issues with any other plastic bag. But when it came to the tomatoes, it was a no-go. So what did I learn? 1, don't use twine for any of your pulling up of plants. Don't. I use zip ties, so that worked out a lot better. The second one is, if you are gonna put the bag in there over your plants, be careful about the humidity or the moisture level inside of the bag. Now these are left open on the bottom, so I didn't have any problem with moisture issues at all. That one's open on the bottom, and even my houseplant one upstairs open. Secondly, apparently I put too much spraying on the inside of it, and it did not have enough airflow. Now my indoor greenhouse upstairs, which is technically plastic in, I don't have any mold or humidity issues because I have a fan inside of it that will suction or like take out a lot of the air or circulate a lot of the air, so I don't have any problems with that. That is what was missing over here in the plastic, in the plastic bags with the tomatoes. I tied them, well, I didn't tie them, but they were too closed off. It could not breathe, so it was a breeding ground for mold. All right, so this is how we're gonna do. Luckily, I've been propagating a lot of these tomato plants, well, the suckers and stuff, so I will have replacement plants to put back in here.
You definitely sounded like a girl, yeah. Such a failure.
Wow, that was a decent impersonation of me right now. Anyway, okay. What is your brilliant idea to save me and my experiment? Because I totally feel like a failure right now, and you're saying no, this is a learning lesson. And what are you gonna do?
It's a very good learning lesson. We're gonna use a fish tank filter to filter out anything that's in this water right now, like any little debris and crap that fell in it.
This brings me back to the water. I mean, this might as well be a part 2. I wanted to do, this part of it where I wanted to be able to check the pH and the EC, which is the electrical conductivity of the water. I want it to be, in a good state, because yeah, the leaf curling does happen with low humidity like it did before, but I also wanted to know, was there something else that could have been happening that would have also contributed to the leaf curl? And that technically can happen with nutrient issues. So we're going to check out the water, see what's going on with it, reset it all up all over again, knowing what I know now about this. Luckily for me, I got some notes because that is way too much for me to remember, because I'm trying to cram and remember nursing, so I can't cram and remember everything. If you do know a lot more about electrical conductivity, if you know a lot more about hydroponics and nutrients, please shout me out. Drop me a comment down below. Send me a message on Facebook or Instagram. I would love to chit chat about hydroponics. Okay, so electrical conductivity is how much dissolved material is in the solution. So when any hydroponic system that you're gonna be setting up, you wanna be throwing in some nutrients, right? Now, that's basically what the electrical conductivity is going to be measuring, the amount of dissolved solvents or dissolved solutions. Wait a second, what does this say? How much dissolved material is in the solution? All right, so there's a certain number or a certain kind of like a parameter that you would want your water to be in, also depending on what you're growing. The high EC, maybe it's just too high. That's just telling you that you have way too much nutrients or way too much salts inside of that water. And that can, drastically affect your plants. And that could be a possibility as to why I got the leaf curl. Now you have a second set of letters that is called TDS. And according to my notes, it is the total dissolved solvents. And that is what's measured through the parts per million, the ppm. I know, that was confusing. So maybe you definitely want to get your information when it comes to serious EC, pH, ppm, all that stuff from another source. I forgot to mention about pH. Now, when it comes to hydroponics, as well as our human bodies, there must be a balance. And that has to be a balance in between the acidity and the alkalinity or the base. So you have in, like, for example, the acidity, like a vinegar, then you have the base alkaline, which is like a milk. I'm gonna be on this from spring, summer, fall. I'm always gonna be having hydroponics, so I know in my future videos, I'll be getting better and better at this. You see all that extra stuff on the bottom? That's the undissolved nutrients that I put inside of it. It feels like sand or something. I gotta figure out a way to how to get that out. I noticed that when I looked inside of the water, inside of this container right here, there's a lot of excess salts or excess granules that did not dissolve. That was problem number one. I needed to dissolve it 100% before I add it into this container. Then again, maybe I did that and there's just too much that I added in there, thus giving me a larger, EC number. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do in order to lower that ppm. Remember, I don't know, I'm just doing a little problem solving here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a strainer, but a real fine one, because a regular colander and all that stuff is not gonna work. You need something a lot more finer to remove that, all the excess solvents that I have in the water. Number two, I'm gonna be adding more fresh water onto the top of it because whatever is remaining, I wanna dilute it down further, hopefully giving me a lower ppm. Now, I don't know if that's the right way to do it. I don't know if that's going to work, but I guess we'll find out. Once I get the water straightened down, hopefully lower the ppm by then, now we can start setting it all up and then we can try it all over again. Hopefully I will get less leaf curl. I mean, I know I'm still gonna have a humidity problem, so I'm probably still gonna get some leaf curl in it, but maybe something will come good out of it, okay? See what happens when you remove some of the solvents and add more water and dilute it? My gosh. 6, all right, hold up, 5.9. Okay, it's still raised up like 3 points. Yo, it's still raised up because it was like, what, 5.6 before, and now to 5.9? That's perfect. So this is parts per million. Oh, ooh. Yo, deadass, this went down by a lot. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. This is the other number. This says EC, but I don't even know what that is. Look at that, man. Okay. Back to setting up my DWC system. Notice that I changed the way, the setup was. I turned it the other way so you can see the tubing that will show you how much water is in the container. I set it up right underneath the light. Luckily, I had a bunch of tomatoes that I was propagating from the suckers from the original tomatoes. So that means I literally have boatloads of tomato cuttings that I can just readily put into this container if something was to go wrong. In an upcoming video, I'm going to show you guys my NFT system and where I've been holding all of my propagated tomatoes. But here I go, taking another one from that NFT system. When I really do this DWC all over again, like again with no container, just using something else, I'm not going to be using the pool noodle. I'm probably going to be using something else that will hold it down, or maybe the pool noodle with something else to hold it down, because I really like that foam noodle, man. That really did work out. What I did with the PVC, right? So I brought it up, I connected it, right, using a little connector, and I brought it over here. Yeah, yes, I know I need a connector here, but for now I'm using duct tape because I'm lazy and I don't want to go drive all the way to a home, you know, a home improvement store just for one piece. So that's why that's there. Okay, this one is still there for the center. All right, now I lined it up perfectly like this, like it's supposed to be. You get to see the tubing right here on the outside to gauge the water level, and it's just right above my grow light. Now this one, of course, is a little on the bootleg side. I used like a leftover broomstick. I kind of got it in there, and that's gonna be for the other pipe. So here we go, and then I'm gonna turn this on. I do need to fix this, okay? My grow light, I do need to put that on a suspension so I can bring it all the way down further, down here, so, you know, they don't get leggy and stringy. Okay, so now we have the EC, which is the electrical conductivity. We have the TDS, which is the total dissolved solids. And then you have the ppm, which is the number of the total dissolved solvents. Very confusing, I know. I'm gonna be on this from spring, summer, fall. I'm always gonna be having hydroponics, so I know in my future videos I'll be getting better and better at this. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you got some good information out of it. I know this is really tricky and can be quite confusing in the beginning when it comes to all these numbers and letters, ppm, TDS, I know. But that's okay, because we just have to kind of like keep eyes on the prize, keep focused on the goal, and that is tomatoes. And just think of it, this is teaching us patience. This is teaching us paying attention, reading, taking our time, and really learning about what we want to do. Just think of this as therapy, because technically this is my therapy. Another way of learning new different life skills through gardening. And I guess, oh, I should copyright that. Damn, that sounded pretty darn good. I'm glad I got it on video. If you did enjoy this video and you want to show me some love, then don't forget to smash that like button. I really appreciate it. Also, if you haven't already, then consider subscribing. I drop a video every week. And when in doubt, if you can't find me here, then you can always find me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm on there all the time. So until the next time, you guys, where you and me both are going to be growing our happiness one plant at a time, one day at a time. I'll check you out later in the next episode. Peace and love. We're going to do this, Chip? Huh? You going to help me out, or are you just going to stay there looking all cute? Looking all cute. Looking all cute. Oh, look how cute you look. You're so adorable. I get cute. I get cute. Whoa. You are so close. Look at those sad puppy eyes. Look at those sad eyes. I love you. I get cute. You're so cute. Ooh, me baby. You're so adorable. Okay, enough shmush. Enough shmush. Green paw? Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, I love you so much.